Decisions on business are often based on how gracious the hostess is. So, how will you greet your guests and make them feel comfortable, and how will you begin to discuss the investment opportunities? Case 4. Our group is to play host to a group of distinguished scholars from Great Britain. British society generally scores high on masculinity and individualism while scoring lower on uncertainty avoidance and power distribution. Those are your keys. It is a moderate context culture where verbal and nonverbal messages are weighed evenly. That is interesting because that is relatively unique to Great Britain and Wales. United Kingdom actually and Wales. So, you hope to impress the delegation with your town in hopes that they might return, but you don't want to pressure them so that they feel obligated to do certain things. So how do you find a balance to approach them? Okay, case 5. Your computer corporation has been asked to design a multimedia effect for a new Hollywood movie. This project could really help your company to be well recognized in the field and gain more contracts as a result. The producer is openly gay and proud. According to past experience, Hollywood is a culture that tends to score high on uncertainty avoidance, power distribution, and individualism. Those are your important points. Your boss is ultra-conservative, though, and insists on being addressed by his title, Mr. Tillotson. He abhors public displays of affection and believes sex of any kind should be left in the closet. His is touch restrictive, and California is much more open to touch. So the problem is your boss insists on meeting the client before the contract is signed. So how do you prepare your boss for the meeting? And last but not least, case 6, your group is in Mexico to establish a contract. All members of your mixed gender team are relatively young, and the people you will be meeting are all males in their mid-40s. Mexico is a masculine culture where there are clear guidelines between sex roles. Men are generally more assertive, and respectable women are to be more submissive. It's a touch expressive culture where touch is much more acceptable than it is in the United States. It is also a culture that prefers high power distribution. So if you need to, reference those slides for those specific things. Rather than collaborating to reach consensus, they prefer to speak with someone who has the power to say yes or no decisively. So the problem is, how do you approach the negotiation, and what will members of your team do to impress your potential partners? So I have no preference. You choose whichever one speaks to you the most or that you feel most comfortable answering. Just please indicate which case you chose, 1 through 6, when you post. And make sure that you also have your reflection in there as well. One last final thing. I uploaded a YouTube video in the assignment section, and it says something to the effect of multicultural competence video or something like that. Please watch that this week. It's about 7 or 8 minutes, so it's not long, but very, very informative and helpful about differences in culture and how that plays into communication. And I'd also like you to watch that and then share one thing in your reflection that you found interesting or insightful or something surprising. Give me one reaction to the video. So anything that struck you from the video, also include that in your post. And from several weeks back, I posted the sheet in the assignment section about the nonverbal communication with different cultures. It might be interesting for you to revisit that link because that was in terms of nonverbal chapter. Now we're in terms of culture. And so the different cultural communication aspects would also be appropriate from that link as well, which I think that's actually right on top of the YouTube video that I just posted. So thank you so much. I hope that you have a great week, and we will talk soon.